Launch day of Kingdom Games 5, Guardians of David. I'm going to chat. We are live.
Are you in the room?
Yay! James, we'll pass it off to you as studio head.
It's a great day. We've gotten this game out there, and it's been a lot of hard work, of course. So here I am with my directors, my fine crew of stalwart warriors, and just want to congratulate you guys, of course, and the rest of the team, and they'll all be showing up here throughout the day, so that's awesome. But one thing I want to do is give you guys these sort of commemorative hoodies that we had made for the game.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Me and Steven kind of behind the scenes, and Danielle and some other key folks have
Don't say that
pitched
because I'm
into,
trying to act surprised.
Wow!
Awesome!
I
had no idea I did that.
Logo, so I want to give each of you guys one of these, and I think this one's a small, and I'm not sure any of you guys qualify.
No, I'm pretty close to the small.
Throw
I
that
don't
one
want to
over
make the
to
rest
Miss
of them
Danielle.
look bad, so
Yeah,
My summer sizes maybe.
but let's see.
Very
Here
cool.
we got an extra large. Which
I'll take
amongst
that.
you? Yes,
Thank you, sir.
extra large for Mike.
I could lose this.
We got we got a large for Aaron. That's probably good for you.
Now.
Let's see.
You switching it out?
Large, Steven, will that work for you?
Yes, it will. Thank you, sir.
And it looks like we have one extra here, but I'm sure we'll find a use for that here.
It's pretty fancy. Need a jacket?
I'll be honest, I needed that little bit of cozy
There's
right
another
now.
extra large, probably.
A little chilly.
Oh, Eric, you want extra large or large?
I'll go extra large. Unless you have a large, you.
Love it.
We have whatever size works for you.
All
right.
Love it.
Ooh, they're nice and soft inside.
Thank you.
So I'll have to give up my Fallout hoodie, unfortunately, but
Time
it
to
on
retire.
over.
Fallout? What is this Fallout?
Hoodie.
Yeah,
time to retire the Fallout hoodie, at least for an hour.
they had their moment in the sun. It's our turn.
It's 5 time now.
Is this where like we gotta do this and then transform into a big like mega cat or something? Voltron?
How do they look? They look cool.
I dig it.
I think we
Very
should
nice,
wear our
thank you.
hoods up
Yeah,
so we
they're
look like
good
we're in a
quality.
cult.
And,
Yeah.
Love it.
Kept them simple because I like simple branding, if you will.
Right on.
Doesn't have like 50 logos or anything, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think if we all pull our hoods up, we're gonna look at some kind of cabal.
I like it.
Exactly.
We'll just
Wow.
do.
We have an audience here. It's
Yeah, it's kind of awkward.
go about your business, people.
Do we have anyone in
Marty,
the
do
chat?
something.
We have a few people, and we do have a call in from Lil Chief.
Little Chief.
And he's on YouTube and has been a stalwart follower of 5 and
Awesome.
Kingdom Games.
All right.
And
All right, little chief. Thank you.
fantastic dude. I think we were going to try and perhaps. Here he is. Ba-boom. I'll monitor chat, and maybe there's a way we could get some audio. I don't know if we can do that via Skype or something, but Little Chief will be monitoring comments. If you have some questions, I'll just quickly do an intro for those of you who may not have been able to put names with faces from emails and other things. But over here, across the table from me, we have Mike, Director of Development. Next to him, the Wolf. We have Stephen Danielle, Director of Art.
Didn't know it.
Stephen Danielle. Steve.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Eric.
How
We
many beers
also
have you had?
have Studio Head James Parkman
Hello.
and Director of Technology 1, Aaron Stanbridge. Oh, and myself, Director of Marketing, as you might have been able to tell.
Shredder.
Yeah. Eric Daniels.
Need to get those turtles.
Mike, I thought we would start with you. Hey, I'm getting a compliment on the glasses, Mike.
See, told you.
Thank you, sir. Mike, start with you. Day's here. We've launched.
Yeah.
How's everybody feeling?
Pretty stoked.
Yeah,
Tired.
pretty little tired,
Excited.
but in a good way. You know,
Yeah.
tired of after a long, hard battle and succeeding to get this out there.
Close to 800 total days.
800 total days.
A little over 2 years since we opened our doors. So it's been a tough slog, but worth every minute. Love it. I wouldn't change it for anything. So I think everybody should be proud of what's out there and available now on Steam, and anxious to hear people's thoughts about it. So. Yeah, I'm a little tired, obviously. I think most people are, so energy levels are a little down at the moment. But yeah, there's a lot of excitement, I think, and everybody's happy to have made it to this point, and looking forward to what we're able to build on with what we have out there now. So, yep.
Yes, indeed.
Stephen, anything to add? I know from the art side, it's been a lot of fantastic work and a lot of grueling hours.
I just want to say the art team is amazing. They came together about 10 months ago, and we hit the ground running, and we stopped a couple of times to catch our breath, but that was about it. And they put forth an amazing effort, and I'm really proud of the art in the game. I'm proud of the game as a whole. It's like we put together something really solid.
Yeah, yes, we did.
It's verbatim what I was going to say about the engineering team. Like, I don't know how you did that. It's incredible.
So thank you for speaking for Aaron, and he's all good.
My pleasure. You're just trying to dodge a bullet.
Hey, what's up? Is it my
I was
turn?
going to ask you, Aaron, if you had anything to add
Oh,
specifically.
I think the entire team, they deserve a massive round of applause. This has been
Pretty massive.
This has been a long and
Massive.
interesting project, and it's really nice to see it all come to fruition, and I think it has. I don't think there's anybody here who shouldn't be proud of what they've contributed to this. I certainly am, and I'm proud to see where it's going to go next. I think we've got some pretty interesting things in store for it.
Definitely.
I don't know. I don't want to say more than that because I don't know how soon we're releasing that information to people, but
Nothing like a few good mysteries and secrets.
yeah.
Stay tuned. There is more to come.
For sure.
Well, I have to say, I've been really impressed, just kind of jumping on what you said about the team here. I've just been really impressed with everyone here and the dedication, the hours put in, the putting personal time on hold to see this thing through. And really, that's the time when things could kind of fall apart. There could be a lot of griping and falling away and difficulty, but
No, there was
instead
no
it's
griping at all.
not a bit, and it's really been coming together. I mean, everybody has really responded, and I mean, I don't know if everybody would use this word, but I really get a sense of a feeling of family. Hanging out and being
I
here.
definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I hate a lot of people here like brothers.
Yeah.
And I would say we probably spend more time together than we do with our families.
Certainly
So,
recently.
yeah, it's good that we bond like that.
Well, we also try to make it a family environment, so
Yeah.
bring your families up here when you need to, and they're welcome, and we've got a game room, and my kids are in there right now, all three of them, playing games on 5 different computers and video game systems. So family is important to us, but
It is very important.
Indeed. I was just curious if did anybody have any thoughts of what launch day was going to be like back a year ago? I mean, when you guys were looking forward, going, we're going to get this thing done.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I thought there'd be confetti. And
Yeah,
I'm a
and
little
balloons.
disappointed.
Yeah, I did too,
I mean,
but
I
there was a
really, I
balloon
had,
drop.
I might make some confetti. We'll see.
Yeah,
that would be good.
T-shirt launcher or something.
T-shirt cannon, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Well, I know we have the Nerf guns, the Nerf bullets, but I'm not hearing that you guys were expecting, plane flyovers and
No, I mean, it's the digital distribution era, so launch day is
A little different.
a little different than it might have been, 5-10 years ago when you're putting a box on a shelf in GameSpot and all of that. So, we'll have multiple launch days here over time as we go into different distribution networks and such. So.
True.
But this is the first, and Steam is a big one. So
First of many.
we're super excited about
boom.
being on Steam, and fist bump.
Sorry about that.
Mike's too tired. Not feeling it.
And speaking of which, I'm real proud of the art and the look of the Steam page. I think it's just a top-notch illustration of the game's quality, the kind of product that it is. I think it's just a fantastic representation of what we're offering out there. And then also going to be available on Green Man and Amazon as well. That's coming soon.
Yep.
We certainly want to make sure anybody who has an interest can find it without any issues. And I think we've done a lot of good work on that front as well. I'm also excited about the fantastic articles and reviews that are going to be coming out. People who are online now and their contribution, really appreciate everything that they're doing to take a look and share their honest opinion of the game and how fun it is. I know we've had a lot of play testers in here as well. Some family members, some just people we've met through the journey, and have really appreciated their feedback as well. And we've I think tried to incorporate a lot of their suggestions to make sure the game is as awesome as we want it to be.
Yeah, we're all hardcore gamers, and we pay attention to what gamers think about our game and gameplay, and all elements of it. So, agreed.
Anybody want to share biggest challenge from the beginning to now?
I think honestly, we were trying to build three things from day one: a team, a product, and a company. And that's a difficult thing to do. And, the further along you get, some of those things subside, like the need to build the company so much once it's established. But yeah, that was just a big undertaking, and it took time for us to get our legs underneath us, I think, and really get a rhythm. And we have that now, and that's why being able to build going forward with the rhythm that we're getting, and being able to take a little time to refine it even further, it's only going to get better and better from here. So whether it's a extension to this game or other things in the future, so that's good. That to me was one of the bigger challenges.
I think, again, just looking at the whole team and everyone here as well has really responded to challenges in a fantastic way. It's really been hey, let's come together, let's figure out how to solve this.
Games are not easy.
Yeah, if you're not into that, I think game development's probably a bad choice. I mean, it's nothing but, I've never tried to do this before, over and over again, or wow, did not see that coming. How are we going to handle it? It's a challenging but ultimately extremely rewarding thing. I mean, then you see something like this, you see your little baby, the fruits of your labor, get pushed out into the world for people to hopefully love. That makes it all quite worthwhile.
Still have that emotional attachment that babies.
Forever.
Forever. I'll never get past loving the very first game I ever worked on. One of my favorite engineers right here over to my left, Jeff, worked on that same thing with me. You form bonds moving through an industry like this that just stay with you.
What was your first game?
Gemstone 3. Commercial muds. All text-based. They don't do a lot like that anymore.
No, they don't.
Imagine multiplayer Zork, I guess.
I remember Zork. I'm going to hoist one for Zork.
I could see Eric playing Zork.
So I see we got a lines coming up from the community and chat. Any questions or?
Let me run through. That's a great point.
Most of them are just talking about how handsome I am, but
I saw somebody opening a bottle of wine.
One, we've had a lot of input with regard to opening some wine, which I think would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Also, I suggested champagne, perhaps, a nice one.
I'm more of a wine guy, but
Lil Chief was recommending that we should incorporate kazoos.
I like that idea.
That seems like about the best idea for.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that in the office. Maybe everything else. No kazoo.
Send out a runner.
Yeah,
we
some
must have
kazoos.
kazoos.
Missed opportunity. We could have done, we could have done a little tidbit of the soundtrack on
I would
kazoo.
have loved that. I would have loved that.
We do have an amazing soundtrack, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching and thinking I should check out this game, that we have some really excellent music in the game, and I can't hype that up enough.
It
I'm
is
sure the thought of it
fantastic.
being done on kazoo probably just like made Chance and Alexander shiver a little
Yeah.
bit wherever they happen to be right now.
That or they're grabbing their recording gear.
They're
and hustling
probably
all
like,
over.
oh,
Well,
Yeah.
they're like,
Kazoos,
if
that's
kazoos
so
are going to
fun.
be incorporated, we're going to be the ones to do it. Yeah.
Now we do have one particular question that I think might be interesting, and it kind of
right.
scrolled off. But how late was everybody up last night? How late? Was everybody up last night?
That varies so much. I was in bed by 1. But let's let Aaron answer that question.
That's how many hours of sleep I got.
Right.
One.
I think Aaron's email came in at 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, and that was I still did 3 more things after that. Yeah,
Right,
that's,
right.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, that's not normal, and I'm going to go to sleep immediately after this.
Yeah, I woke up as Aaron was stopping working. It was, I think, about 6 o'clock.
You tagged in, he tagged out.
Yeah, which, it was the right thing because, we tried to lock the build down a couple of days ago, as is the correct process to do so that it can truly be tested for final bugs and what have you. And so, it was a struggle for all of us to not keep tinkering with the build, which we are wont to do forever, and never feel 100% happy with every little thing. So, we kind of had to force ourselves to really stop working on anything but a critical bug as it might come up, and those kind of stopped coming up about 2 days ago. And so, Aaron was just the lucky guy who got to be sort of in charge of our Steam packaging and final page tweaks and such, which kept him going. And
Part of the reason I'm super excited about launch is I can get back to tinkering on the build.
yeah, we all are, right.
Excellent. So I have a question for you. With the soundtrack, because our music is phenomenal, without a doubt, and there are no kazoos. Will there be snippets
sheet
or
music?
samples of the soundtrack up there on the Steam page? So if someone's contemplating, hey, should I get this?
That's a good question. Both Chance and Alexander, and for anybody watching, Chance Thomas and Alexander Brandon are the 2 primary composers. They both have snippets up on SoundCloud that they posted on Facebook recently. Maybe we should see about adding that to the description of the soundtrack. That's a really good idea.
I think
Yeah,
that
because
would
it
be-
really is. I spent a lot of time listening to that soundtrack last night, and it's pretty magnificent.
It really
yeah,
is.
they did a really good job with it.
Yes, they did.
I mean, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. These
Right,
are
I mean, they are
a
world-class
long and
composers.
varied pedigree
Right.
of doing good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked with Chance on Unreal 2 about 10 years ago, and that's how I got to know him. And, he's struck me immediately as a really great guy to work with, and also just an amazing musician. So, he was the first guy on my list. We need music, Chance. I want Chance to do our music. And, of course, he was super excited about it, and that was been an amazing collaboration.
And we have a lot of really well-known professionals that have
We do.
contributed on the game. Chance, as you mentioned, there's Sergio with the comic stuff.
Definitely, and Joe Watmow on the environment concept art is a very well-known concept artist. He's an amazing artist across the board, everything from his fantasy art to his paintings
my
of
back
his
porch. Here's a car
the
I
power
see,
lines
yeah.
over his backyard are just like, wow, is that a photo or a painting? Yeah, and of course everyone here on the team, our full-time employees are all just great artists and designers and programmers, and we're really careful about having the best talent we can find for every position.
And we have some live streaming going on. Keen Gamer was letting us know that he's live streaming gameplay right now.
Oh, excellent!
Sweet deal. I'll go
Yeah.
watch after this.
Yeah. And then Scorpion 2, ex-Scorpion 2, Ryan C. wanted to specifically say, hey, congratulations.
Oh, well, thanks,
Thank you.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Ryan was very instrumental in putting together a lot of the parts of this.
And I also wanted to point out, there's a question about Mac. We have
Mac
the
is in
here
the
that's
works.
been
In the
noticed.
works.
Yes.
We have, may I?
Yes,
we
please.
have a short list of very important things that we want to get done. Mac for me is, by which I mean like the things that I'm going to be moving through, is about fourth on the list. I'm thinking probably mid Q1 2016. Yeah. And that's a little bit of a safe answer, but we want to get through. We're going to go through an engine upgrade first, and there's a few. Like I said, I want to get back to tinkering with the build. There's definitely a few things that I think will, the game will benefit from.
Yeah, there's some passion.
Yeah. It's hard. I think it's hard for all of us to kind of hold back on our plans, but I can assure you that we have a pretty distinct list of plans, and from the technical side, the design side, even all through the year. But unless Eric's going to jump over the table and punch me in the face, then I will withhold the details until we make official announcements about what we're doing. But yeah, Mac is certainly in the works, and using Unity Engine allows us to port to Mac relatively easily, we hope and assume. So, yeah.
We're all hoping for a smooth port.
We are. And I will say, we have exported it to the Mac in the game.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's a complete unknown.
Right.
Oh, you've played it on a Mac?
Yes.
Played it on a Mac.
I'm going to chat that, Aaron.
Well, you do
Right,
that.
but just so everyone understands,
Yeah.
we would then pass that build along to QA, who would fully put a full round of testing and uncover any unique issues to the Mac, and then we would have to go and fix those. So while we could just export it and send out a Mac version, that's not the right way to do it.
Yes, that would wind up terribly disappointing
Exactly.
at the moment.
Little Chief is also playing, and I'm asking him if he's faced Goliath.
Just so everyone knows, my daughter was able to beat Goliath on the first try. So
So step up.
yeah,
First try.
first try.
I haven't been able to get past him without dying at least 4 times.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to have to ask her for some tips.
Yeah.
Plummeted.
Yeah.
We can make it go even further. How old was your daughter?
She's 14, but to be fair, she's a hardcore
She is.
gamer.
A
She's
big Diablo player.
she's got maxed characters in Diablo, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2,
Yeah.
lots of games. Destiny. Yeah. She's a gamer.
A whole gamer family on the
Whole
Parkman
gamer
side.
family, that's for sure.
I know my kids. I was happy to see my youngest daughter. She was upstairs playing on the Xbox the other day,
Nice.
looking pretty natural controller in hand.
Cool. What was she playing?
I want to say she was playing one of the Call of Duties,
Those are popular with the kids.
but she's more of a FIFA,
Oh, okay.
more of a FIFA
game.
player on soccer.
Respect.
And I know that Chris, it's been kind of cool to see him play on the PC with the new Steam controller. That was kind of encouraging. to
Yeah,
see
I'm
that
interested in
work so well.
hearing more about that. I haven't had a chance
I
to talk to
played
Chris
around with
about
that. Yeah, it did pretty smooth.
Yeah,
I've heard.
I like it. Pretty slick.
So we have one question. The gaming experience is saying, will there be updates for the game, or is it complete?
Oh, that's
And I'm saying it is complete, but ...
right. Yeah, there will certainly be updates.
Yeah.
Of various scope, from patches, which are just to fix issues as they come up, to DLC content, which we'll roll out more info on fairly soon. And we have a solid plan of what those things will be, and we hope to have those several times through the year, and probably a larger expansion type of thing towards the end of the year. And I think that's probably about as much as I should go into right now.
We've been focused on getting the game wrapped up and out to everyone, and now we're going to take a couple weeks here before the Christmas holidays and really map that out, which will hopefully give better dates so that Eric can do his thing and make those announcements.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
A lot we want to do.
I refer to it as the 5 saga because I certainly do not see it as a
One-off.
we're released to see you later. We'll see you 5 years from now with
Right.
another game.
No.
It's a ongoing project that is near and dear to us, and there's so much we want to do with it. We're just trying to take the professional and organized approach to or rolling those things out in a way that works and is in a timely way that will give players new stuff periodically.
I would venture to say that 5 Guardians of David is our foundation on which we are going to build.
Certainly,
more.
yes.
Tell more stories.
And we're actively working on that. We're preparing the schedules.
Getting ready.
I just said that we're a bit tired, but excited like a gaggle of schoolgirls.
Yeah,
Really?
I
Thank
think
you.
we come across like a gaggle of schoolgirls.
We don't look like school.
No, with these sweatshirts, we kind of got a uniform thing going.
We all got the uni going.
That's right.
Any Thanksgiving plans? Because I think a little bit of a break has been well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, we gave everyone off to tomorrow as kind of an extra day, and of course Thanksgiving and Friday. It's a good 5 days. We're kind of giving the whole team off to spend with their
Holy
families.
moly. Pardon me, egg roll showed up.
Egg
Yeah,
roll
egg
clock.
rolls.
Right.
Oh, significant.
Mike's wife made egg rolls for the team, and they're spectacular. I've been having them probably once a year for the last
Yeah.
5 years or so. And
They are a force to be reckoned
they're
with.
worth the wait.
They're worth launching
Awesome.
a game for, that's
They
for
are.
sure.
Yeah. We just need to launch more games so we can get
Yeah.
more. egg
Stop the
rolls.
Twitch feed.
Yeah,
Let's eat
that's
egg
how
rolls.
that goes.
Yeah.
Stephen, Thanksgiving
Yes.
plans?
I'm going to rest, take it easy. Actually, my son and I are going to be joining my girlfriend Victoria, and we're going over to a friend's house. It's a little bit of a orphans Thanksgiving, orphans and widows, if anyone uses that term.
We're so sorry to hear you're an orphan and a widow.
But it's a lot of fun. Everyone kind of potluck it. It's usually a fried turkey, and then we end up playing, what is it, Cards Against Humanity?
Cards Against
Sure.
Humanity, a classic.
Yes.
And you're not concerned
better family
about
game.
the frying of the turkey. You don't feel like
Oh no, the turkey is pre-fried.
It's probably okay for
okay.
orphans and widows.
Yeah, sure.
because I have fried one, and dropping a bird into a big vat of oil can be a
Boiling
little,
oil.
Yeah, a little kind of like, I hope this goes okay.
Yeah, it's scary, and if there's any bit of moisture inside that turkey or parts are frozen, it's
Boom.
does not end well.
I've seen the videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's true. Those are some good fail reels.
Yes.
And I agree with the gaming experience. I don't know that there's anything yummier than fried turkey.
I can't
think
disagree with that.
That's the way to go. Aaron, you have Thanksgiving plans?
I am disappearing off the grid for 4 days, and that's all you need to know.
You're not going to tell us. You're not going to tell us what state you're
Secret
going to be
operations.
in. Well, I will be
Not a
staying
bit.
here. I've got. I'll have approximately 15 family members staying
Wow.
in my house.
Wow.
That seems
And-
almost untenable, but if you like it, then cool for you.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I have to say, up late last night, and then woke up this morning and kind of walked through the house and was. This is a disaster.
Was it?
we
Was
just
it
have
chaos?
a lot of young kids, babies, the whole age spectrum going on.
Well, you seem to be handling it okay.
I gotta say, I love having family here. And it's something my mom started, the Thanksgiving tradition of all of us getting together at somebody's house. So
All right.
it's either getting in a car and driving to my brothers or my sisters, or them coming here. And we're launching a game, and they all came down here to support. So really appreciate that from the
I think the
family.
timing worked out well across the board. We launch a game, we have a nice holiday,
Mm-hmm.
we get to come back refreshed and get to work.
Yes,
And I'm all about getting to work.
I got to tell you that I think people have actually been doing that for years. Your mom may not have started that tradition.
This has been done before.
Yeah.
Now
Man.
we do have another question, and this is going to get technical, Aaron. So
Oh.
put your technical cap on.
I'm going to refer to Jeff.
one of the questions is gravy the most important component to a Thanksgiving meal?
Well, obviously that's a very subjective question, but I personally find stuffing to be really the linchpin. I mean, stuffing is one of the easiest things to go wrong with, and it's one of the most important. It's kind of the glue. I mean, you're always going to have like a turkey or a ham. Oh, you can have your own opinion. You can talk next.
I do not like stuffing. Like, no, no, it can't be the stuffing.
Aaron is
wrong.
like it. I'm all about now.
You fool!
I
Not
will-
the stuffing.
You fool!
I will put a little bit of gravy on the stuffing, but yeah, that's my thing. And apple pie after that.
You're an apple pie, not pecan or pumpkin.
I am allergic to pecans.
I think we have some pies back there. Yeah.
There is a pecan
We
pie
did have a
back there.
Thanksgiving
Watch me
feast
not eat
here
that.
in the office today for our viewers to know, and
Yep.
it's still back there. I'm pretty stuffed from it, and probably at least one person or two might be on here eating on the camera. I would suspect.
At some point, because the pecan pie sounds really good.
So
I encourage all of you to clear out that pecan pie.
we did get one question, and it has to do with promotion from Keen Gamer, and they're curious about promoting the game. And I will say that we, just to address that briefly, we made a decision to, egg roll
See, my prediction has come true already.
with sauce. But on the promotion side, we made an active decision to really focus promotion close to launch. So we
Correct.
kicked off a handful of items really mid-November, and then things are really scheduled to start heating up today, launch day, and they'll continue into December. And
Yep.
I'm curious to hear people's thoughts, our fans. Curious to hear what you come across out there on gaming sites, review sites, YouTube, etc. Just let us know how things are going on the promotion side, because I think we've come up with a really good plan, and I think in the coming days you're going to have a hard time not knowing about 5 Guardians of David. On
Probably
all
true on the gamer
stuff
front.
that's
We've
out there.
pretty well targeted, at least getting the word out about the game to most key gaming outlets, and just raise awareness. And we want as many people as possible to try out the game, and we think you'll really like it.
So my one comment to Keen Gamer is please keep an eye out today and in the coming days, and let us know what you think of the promotions that are out there, because you should be seeing them. And if there's anything that we can do with you on the co-promo side, we're certainly open to doing that. So.
Yeah, tell us when you see something. Get on Twitter.
Yeah, or if there's places
Say hi.
you go for gaming news and you don't see us, let us know that too.
Yeah.
Maybe we're overlooking a good spot to reach out to and do some work with. So.
And also, we have a shout out from a fan, Amber Rain, saying, "Hi, Stephen."
Hey,
Amber's one of
Amber.
Steven's biggest fans.
Thanks for joining us.
And we also have one recommendation on the promo
I have
side,
a fan.
streaming. And
You got
actually,
two.
we have Mike at the keyboard and mouse. We are planning to stream actual gameplay
stuff
today
throughout the
through
day.
the launch event. And every Thursday, 4:30 Central, we have our live Twitch stream, and I would say the vast majority of the time, if not all the time, we're going to be streaming gameplay from Act 1 all the way through Act 11.
And someone's playing actually right now. If you wanted to see a stream of the play, who was that?
I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was Gaming Experience.
I thought it was Keen Gamer. I could be wrong.
There you go.
Keen Gamer or the Gaming Experience. One of
Good
the
deal.
two I know is streaming right now.
Cool.
And actually, a couple of people have tuned in from the stream that they've been watching. Gilly669. None of you should notice that I had to tip back a little bit to read that. My kids like to give me a hard time over that.
Your old
And-
man reading habits.
Yeah. These aren't prescriptions.
They're not helping much either. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not a prescription shredder mask.
And Little Chief is streaming as well.
There you go.
And
That's who it was.
just like you said, King Gamer.com is streaming also. We've got
Our
some people jumping
preview
on
there's
there.
been paused for quite a while. Is our stream coming through okay?
That would be. If those of you on chat, if you could give us a little feedback with regard to audio and video.
Wow.
This is for me.
I think
Deliver it now.
Come on
yeah.
in,
Definitely
Brian.
deliver it in the middle of the
said
stream.
deliver it in
It's
the middle.
delivered to Eric.
Oh my. Yeah, I've got it.
Wow.
There you go.
And that looks like an edible
That
arrangement.
looks like a fruit
It's
basket.
cold, which is a good sign.
That
We're gonna
is.
have to pop this bad boy open.
Yeah, I
Yes,
want a piece
we
of
will.
fruit.
I'm thinking I'm gonna need a pair of scissors.
Can you
Got a
tell who
Shredder
it's from?
fan out there.
It is from.
Let me get Miss Danielle to get us a pair of scissors.
It is from. Dear, I will read this live on camera. Dear Eric. Sorry, guys. Dear Eric, congratulations on the launch of 5. May this be the successful first of many.
Yes.
All the best. All of your friends at PC Gamer and Future.
Oh, nice.
All right.
That's very nice. PC Gamer.
Thank you, PC. And,
That's awesome.
and there's been a number of
Got some scissors here.
partners that we've worked with that have just been spectacular. PC Gamer, obviously one of them. Have really enjoyed working with those guys. Fantastic group.
That's really nice.
Helpful, and just an indication they really seem invested in
They
wanting
do.
to help us be
Yeah,
successful.
the laptop promotion they did was amazing and kind of
Yeah.
unexpected and just really
great.
cool.
They've been fantastic the whole way through. So, thank you.
I should try to win that.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure it has the standard no employees disclaimer, Aaron.
Oh, this looks challenging.
That was
Mike,
nice.
this might end up in your lap.
Is
Keyboard.
that an accident or a feature?
Ooh la la. Got a little
Anything for the
dessert
ratings.
action.
Yeah, can I pick a piece of fruit off your
Please
fruit
do.
arrangement?
Please do.
What is this strange fruit?
I hope you guys don't mind. I
looks
told
like the,
PC Gamer that I developed the
chocolate-covered
game all by
something.
myself.
Maybe a fig?
Chocolate covered apple.
No, I did not get them.
Okay. Also,
Who called
you
it?
want to call one of them on Skype. They were scheduled for this first hour, and then you have we have Alex specifically requested to speak to Barbara Stephen at one.
Yeah. Well, we
right.
had them
They're
on the
Skype.
chat, so.
You should relay with stuff.
Okay, so you are the man at the controls with regard to the desktop. and
Oh
Skype.
my. I don't know if we want that. I'm
You can do it, Mike.
Just what you wanted, right,
What
Mike?
am I? Yeah.
In control of the Skype.
So we have Alex is one who's on the schedule. I think he's the top one. And maybe we can try and get a hold of Alex via phone call, and then also touch base with a couple of other friends and partners. Dialing Alex back. I like the icon that we have there. That's looking pretty intense.
We have some.
Alex isn't available at the moment.
Now you can pin this one on me. We did miss our time slot with
Way to
Alex.
go.
Yeah.
Got so
Sorry, Alex.
excited.
Call us back.
Oh, yeah, I think you absolutely should.
I mean,
Don't waste any.
just gonna
yeah,
sit
if
here.
you've not done that.
I'm gonna go get
you
one.
need to Go get.
I'll be right back.
Sorry,
And
my
then
mother-in-law brought egg rolls, and they're phenomenal. So everybody's running off to grab egg rolls, and I don't blame them.
I'm gonna check quickly on Little Chief and seeing if we can get them on. Oh, here he is. Little Chief had a problem.
Uh-oh.
was it you not eating this egg roll? Because that was mine.
Who's coming up on this next?
I don't know.
What do we got?
We should line 'em up.
scheduled next. Yeah, get folks ready.
And then we have someone who wants to talk with Steven, although he stepped out for a
Aren't the artists going off next?
moment. I believe it is Art.
Good deal.
Well, we have another 10 minutes, and I would like to. You want to try Alex again, real quick?
Sure. I'd love to. turn up the speakers, I think. Is that the problem here?
Hello.
Oh, there we go. It looks like we got a connection.
Yes.
Hey!
All right.
We can hear you.
Good.
Sorry about
I
this.
was stream on mute now, so I can talk to you and everything.
Awesome. Well, we have Mike still here. We have Aaron, both on the tech and development side, and then myself, Eric, on the marketing end. I'm sure you have a million marketing questions to ask.
Yeah. So the very first question I have is, this is my first time actually, believe it or not, playing a PC game, like an RPG kind of game like this.
A convert!
My first one, I'm mainly a console gamer, so I'm still trying to get used to the controls of PC games. I've never done that before, and I'm trying to use my left hand with all of the F1 through 5 for the characters, 1 through 5 I think for the map. How much do I get used to it,
I mean, that's almost with any game, time spent. If you're finding what the default is, you can certainly key map it to something that seems a little more comfortable for you. But just like if I pick up a controller game these days, it's going to be a little uncomfortable for me, and it'll take just time. But you should get familiar enough with it to where you're not struggling to think about what button to push and just start pushing the right one.
And I know for me, I would compare it to learning how to drive a stick shift.
I started on that, so that was pretty easy.
Okay.
I was lucky.
I would say it probably took me a good 5 hours of gameplay on the keyboard. You know, back when I started gaming, it was all keyboard and so on, and then moved to controller, now moving back. Somewhat like a bicycle, maybe you never forget, but I would say it took me a good 5 hours to get back into feeling comfortable with mouse, clicking, key mapping, function keys and the number keys to kick off all the special abilities and so
Alex,
on.
one thing you could consider is trying out a Steam controller because of the way it has the mouse pad built into it. That might work out well for you.
Yeah, we've been trying that, and that haptic pad works surprisingly well out of the box.
Sorry for the ruckus at the moment. The team's a little excited.
That's okay. The Steam control, I love that because I just the laptop is still big.
Quiet, you animals.
Oh no! It'll plug in on a USB to a PC as well.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But what's different is one of the D-pads will actually function like a laptop mouse pointer. So by rubbing your thumb along the left D-pad, it's just moving like the touchpad of a laptop. So it's pretty slick.
How do you like the inventory management on the PC versus doing that on a controller?
It isn't too bad actually. I'm still very early into the game. I'm going to take it to the recurve mode. Apparently the auto save function turned down low when I tried to play it earlier. But it's pretty cool. And it's going pretty well. I still like the part of the inventory and put it on here in slots. So that was easier than I thought it would be. Because I was wondering how to equip that first to pick it up.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Speaking of bows, I'm a big fan of the ranged character. I like playing Abishai and kind of hanging back and firing from afar. I don't know if you're a ranged guy or if you like getting in there with the hammer. Close guy?
Yeah. Benaya and Eleazar will end up being some pretty good favorites of yours, I think. That's your style.
How many hours in are you?
Oh, nice.
I saved because I did a game earlier and I thought back in. My file was there, but that's right at the very beginning of the game, so that kind of sucks.
Gotcha.
Well, there are some discrete checkpoints. So what you're going to find is, as you move through the game, you want to get to that next checkpoint and then do a save so that you can come back to where you are. Now, one of the things I'm really curious about is you mentioned you're used to the controller and reacquainting with PC and keyboard use. We tried to include a lot of tutorial content at the beginning. Did you find the tutorial content helpful, distracting? What were your thoughts?
Okay, good.
I think I found your character. He was being attacked by three soldiers, so he's getting very hurt.
Oh yeah. Very first map.
It was still the prologue, I think, and I was getting on the game for the issue because of Skype. I don't have the most powerful laptop. When I stream a PC game, streaming for a second laptop, and playing on this, it can actually stress on you.
Yeah, that would hurt.
I did use my T1 those use my PC. It's been good. I'm glad for this game because I didn't play this as my first game on PC, so we happy about that.
Right on.
Nice.
Very happy about that.
I have another question for you also.
Please.
How much of actual history do you incorporate into the game? Because of course I've noticed the introduction at the beginning about King David being a child and slavery and king for many years. So how much of history is actually incorporated?
The story will actually span from the more iconic moment of David versus Goliath, where he is much younger, up through Bathsheba. So it covers, and we jump a little bit in time, but it does tell the full story through King David up to him conquering and pulling the region under control, if you will. But as far as how much history, we did quite a bit of research, both from a biblical standpoint and then just a straight historical, trying to make sure that where we were placing things within the world were as accurate as we could determine and find based on what was known. So it's been a learning experience for all of us. It's been a lot of fun.
We have several military history books around the office now.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, again, on the marketing side, how did you first come across Five Guardians of David and Kingdom Games?
Well, I'm part of a Twitch team that is Prototype Gaming, and one of the more known team members who's part of the Twitch put up the main list for Jesse and his team or something.
Ah, yeah.
Nice.
So it's only because Prototype Gaming, really. I'm still a growing streamer myself, still only 2,000 followers, but thanks to Prototype Gaming, I didn't have the opportunity to play this game, and other than this too. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you for that opportunity they've given me.
Very cool.
You do a lot of the competitive play then?
In terms of like just getting in general.
Yeah, getting on and
I used to be really good at Call of Duty when I was younger. I mean, not like a really good, but I used to be like 20 years old to be really good at Call of Duty. And I just stopped playing for whatever reason. It was kind of getting stuck with time. So
Together as a team for years to come.
I don't really know.
awesome. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the game and expect that you have at least 10 additional acts of activity to work through the game.
Lots of
and
hours ahead.
A lot of different play styles
Yep.
as well. It's not it's not just going to be the face a battalion of
Characters will
enemies.
blossom out.
So it's 12 total plus including the epilogue, right?
I mean, everybody's play style is a little different, but yeah, I think you can count on that as far as the total play time. It's a good long session, no doubt.
We're going to want to hear from you around midnight tonight
That's
to hear
right.
about your progress.
I will definitely try to keep you posted.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
Well, hey, thanks for spending some time with us. We really appreciate it, and it's really energizing for us to hear from people who are trying the game for the first time, and it's really cool. Also, I know you mentioned your console, and this is kind of your first foray on the PC side, and that's just really cool for us to hear. That one of the things that we tried to do in terms of game design was reach out to an audience that maybe is not as used to PC games as some others. So that's really cool to hear.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Thank you.
And for calling.
And for calling. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a
Have a
great
good
day,
one.
Alex. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good deal.
All right. Who are we talking to at 1?
The artists are coming up.
So let me, the schedule was here. Let me go check
Here's
with,
here.
oh, here we go, okay. Mike, you're on. Let's do one more before we move over to Art. And is Keen Gamer still on? Keen, can you find him on the list?
Try. What was the name of it?
God, this type is so small.
Or is it just your age is getting higher?
I'm
Laser
pretty
eyes.
sure it's the type because I have eyes like an eagle.
Do you?
Eyes like an eagle.
Carol Vick. Karel.
Got it. Let's give him a call.
Word.
Boom.
Let me know if you need me to read
King
anything else.
Gamer is
tiny.
ready. He is there.
All right, King Gamer.
And he has a glass of wine.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys.
Hey! Thanks for tuning in. It's really good to hear from you. I hope the wine is nice and mellow and keeping things from getting too intense with the game. I know how that can happen.
Don't want to spill it on your keyboard.
Down your stream because then I usually find.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I tried.
You sound good on this side.
Yeah, the wine is perfect.
What are you drinking, by the way?
I don't know any English, sorry.
Are you drinking a Gewürztraminer, a Riesling?
Riesling.
Just making things
I
up.
think it's much better.
Much better. Okay, good.
Interloper. Tommy, you can sit in my lap.
Well, so just so you know, Keen, we have Mike, director on development, Steve, director of art. We have our studio head, James, who's joined us again. We have a cardboard cutout of one of our artists, Tommy, you see over here.
Tommy Spompanato.
And we have director of technology, Aaron. So I don't know if you had any specific questions for any one of us in particular.
I don't ask in general, and you just decide to answer.
Okay, perfect.
I've asked one question at the beginning, how many of you guys are there, and you said that it's around 30, which is quite a huge amount for this studio.
Thank you. And we feel like we've really developed a fantastic epic style game with tons of hours of gameplay and other fun, cool little elements in the game that are going to keep people entertained for days and days.
I'm
Yes,
sure.
it is.
Do you have any, was the history of your developers and guys in the studio? Can you tell us, for example, some games which they did, or studios where they just worked?
Personally, I've worked on Oddworld. I was at Namco for a while, back in the early PlayStation days. People here on the design team have worked on various MMOs, whether it's Wizard 101 or Tabula Rasa and many, many others. So it's a really diverse group of developers with a lot of years experience across the board. And I'm sure the artists will touch on it further, but I'll go ahead and let Steven kind of speak to that.
That was just ended.
I didn't understand. Go ahead.
They ended.
Oh.
Yes.
It was
Oh, yes,
Yes.
yes.
That is unfortunate.
I spent 6 years at Microsoft working on the Xbox and the Xbox 360. About 4 years at an independent in Seattle. Let's see, Dark Void, and most recently Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
came out.
Team, Darksiders.
across
Oh,
the,
the art
team,
team
we've
as a
worked
whole.
on hundreds
Yeah.
of different titles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
extensively.
yeah,
I think it's probably going to be easier if people just name off what they've worked on.
I guess, or just, there's so many titles that have been worked on here.
Yeah.
and-
We cover quite a wide gambit.
We've got a lot.
right.
How did you end up just together? Because you are, I don't know, from many tens of studios.
That's a great
Yeah.
question. How did this
Well,
group get together?
I kind of brought the core team of this together, and that was mostly people I've worked with in some capacity that I identified as, hey, that's a guy I want to work with in the future. hey, what are you doing? Are you interested in this new project that we're doing? And that's how I got most of the guys sitting here right now, and some of the other core members of the team. And then from there, a lot of them came from standard sort of hiring practices. We would put a job posting out for a particular position and start vetting candidates. But several are people we've worked with in the past, and
50-50.
almost all of us have 15 to 20 years of experience in the game industry, and you make a lot of connections in that time, and it kind of goes from there.
Yeah, and just finishing the game in 2 years, that's quite something.
Yeah, and it was an aggressive schedule, and we knew that coming in. But we take a really professional approach and highly scheduled and trying to.
We pushed hard.
Yeah, so honestly, you know what? You are not an indie development studio.
Yeah, I mean, that label we feel is almost unfair to a lot of real indie studios, which are just a few people trying really hard to get a concept off the ground. I consider us a little bit outside of that typical indie definition.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's just mostly about the publisher and
exactly.
Right.
It's we self-publish, so technically we're independent developer.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be this way for many more studios in the future.
Agreed.
I think so too. I think that's a good thing. I think in the past few years we've seen a real democratization of the tools and the process, making it more and more available for people to do what they want, to put out the game that they really feel like they need to make. I think that's an amazing thing. This is a really good time to be in games.
Yeah. If I may ask, for example, for some core gameplay questions. I know that maybe this is not for the directors, but maybe for the guy on your right hand side, maybe he will answer me.
Yeah, he'll be able to answer. Exactly.
What about PvP and co-op? I heard that I watched the video, and you said that cooperation is a mode that you would like to implement, but what about PvP?
Yeah, so we're trying to limit exactly what we announce along those lines until I get to a point where Eric won't give me the evil eye when I talk about it. But co-op is huge on my list. It's a story-driven game, so cooperative gameplay is number one on my list of what I want to do with 5. And we're actively looking into that now. That's kind of number one on the list going forward. PvP, we would like to do at the least a fairly simple arena-style PvP with few consequences to start, so it's not really super competitive, or you lose your stuff if you're defeated by your enemy or something like that. But it's on the radar as well. I would say cooperative play is higher on the list than PvP, but both are on the radar for things we're looking into.
Or they would be if we could talk about it.
Right, exactly. Right. If there wasn't, yeah.
You said that you are just waiting right now for the outcome of the scheme and of how the game will be successful, and then you will decide for next DLCs and other content. Do you plan to make, for example, another game from this world, or do you plan to make a completely different game in the future? Or
that's a good question.
Let's see. There's kind of two parts to that question. I consider 5 an ongoing game, so we certainly have at least a year's worth of DLC and expansion content actively being planned and worked on. So,
paid or unpaid?
Say again?
Paid or unpaid DLC?
Paid. But of course, we will as well patch and make improvements to the game in an unpaid fashion. But we will also do paid DLC content over the next year. And that stuff is not even awaiting the outcome of anything on Steam. That's stuff we are actively working on now. As far as another game, We do have ideas and thoughts for other games, but we have not started developing any other games yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. And maybe this is just for the end game. Is there any end game?
In terms of concluding the story.
I think that would be difficult to
I think
answer.
that you made it practically as a storyline.
Right.
You finish it. Can you then start again with higher difficulty, or what's gonna happen?
You cannot yet do that, but you can replay and level up further if you want. You can replay any mission you want. But that's kind of one of the key reasons why, for me, cooperative play and moving forward with character advancement and stuff is so important to me, to get into more of a deep end game, for the hardcore gamers after they finish the storyline.
So is it randomly generated so they can play another maps or just fight bosses?
They can. It's not randomly generated, but it certainly scales to your level. So if you go back to an earlier level, all the enemies and equipment drops and such will scale to your current level. So you can replay things and you can go fight bosses again, like you called out, and get good drops from them. And
So there are no difficulties, but it's like in Diablo, and you start again and you are on a different difficulty level.
No, currently there are no difficulty levels.
Yeah, but it scales up to you, so there is.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
it's kinda
semblance of auto balancing to your level, and you can replay content and continue to play.
And is it as fun as playing through the whole story? I mean, will the players be attracted, or will they have any aim or any goal, any motivation to play again, to move forward?
The Spy Network stuff and donation unlocks and
Yeah,
whatnot.
there's different unlocks, for example, that you can get on your character or characters that you probably will not be able to achieve on the first playthrough, and you'll be able to continue to unlock things and get better equipment and such. But
any max level?
max level currently is 33. And without going into too much detail, as we progress into a cooperative, more sandbox mode, which we're planning, we will likely move away from a standard level cap into a more Destiny or Diablo-like advancement system, just in very rough terms, if you're familiar with the way those games sort of have...
Like Paragon system?
Yeah, something like that, exactly, but to get away from just continually increasing the level cap.
Okay. And just one, I think this could be important for all of the viewers and future watchers. If they will buy it for, I don't know, what's the price, like $20 right now?
Yeah.
How long will they play until they finish the game, the story?
Roughly 20 hours of single-player gameplay for the first run-through of the game. And of course that varies depending on how quickly you rush through things or whether or not you take your sweet time, But that's what I would consider an average play time.
So you can play it 40 hours without any problems. You will just skill up your character and equip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to unlock everything on that first playthrough.
Right, and then we'll be working on future content that we'll be rolling out. So.
Okay, and the future content. Do you have any schedule? I mean, that you will unlock or publish, release new DLC once in 3 months, or something which will get the player base still remain in the game and still enjoying the game?
Yeah, and we're actively working on that schedule, but I don't think that right now here on this show we're prepared to roll out a schedule. We don't want to lock ourselves into something that hasn't been fully locked down. But that is what we are working on right now, is the plan for the year, when exactly the DLC content that we already know we're working on will be released. And we'll be rolling that out, on the Steam forums and on our own social media and everything else as soon as we feel comfortable doing that. And
I
it
just
will,
hope that we will not do it like Blizzard, like once in 2 years or something.
yeah, it won't be like
Yeah.
that. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, we want to do it more frequently than that. And just to provide a little more detail, I mean, what we've done is we've released a complete game, and all of the content that we have completed and done is out there and part of the game. We don't have anything in our back pocket at this point, which is why we're being a little vague with regard to future plans, because we have those future plans, but still need to do quite a bit of engineering work to figure out how long some of this stuff is going to take, and putting schedules in place that we can actually hit, and coming up with the entire plan for that through 2016. We have rough idea for Q1, but still coming together, and that's why we're being a little vague.
It's right over your shoulder.
Yeah, Tommy just freaks me out every time I turn around.
First thing when I walked in this morning, he was leaning in the corner by his desk, and I walked in and almost said, "You thinking hard over there, Tom?" And didn't realize until about 5 minutes later my mistake.
Yeah, and on the future content thing, my final word is
To be fair,
I
1
really
hour.
want to talk about all of the cool things that we're working on and talking about. And my whiteboard in my office is full of notes of all the stuff that's important to me moving forward, and it's a lot of cool stuff that I really am itching to talk about. But I want everyone here to feel good about our announcement of exactly what's coming next. But rest assured, it's not going to be a 2 years from now you get a DLC pack.
No.
And it's going to be stuff that you'll find cool, and will go right along the lines of in-game content and replayability and the things that are important to hardcore gamers. I am one of them. I love replayable systematic content, and that is the main focus of what I want to roll into 5. It's taken quite a bit of effort to tell this story in the cinematic sort of epic way that we wanted, and we're really happy with that. Next steps are, let's make this game an ongoing, living thing that people will return to over and over.
I totally agree, and I think you are lucky that you are here, this year, the real indie developer, so you can decide how you want.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, we're really grateful for that. We don't have to get our desires and wishes approved by any Uber publisher who wants to take the safe route on everything. So we can explore things that are important to us as gamers. And, I can speak for myself and everyone at this table. We love games, and we want to make the most fun, engaging gaming experience we can.
Yep.
I'm not sure how much time do I have, but I think one question, you must hear it every day, I think. What's the difference between Diablo and 5? Because, for example, I read even today that, 5 characters, so it's like Baldur's Gate, not?
Yeah, well, that would be the first thing, a difference between Diablo and 5 that I would call out, is that you are never in control of one character in 5. You are always in control of a party of some size. And you're in full control of them. You're not just have your main character and then a bunch of followers who you really don't have any control over their equipment or anything. You're fully equipping the entire group. You do occasionally have a peripheral character who will join you for a minute, but your 5 iconic warriors are all fully equipable and upgradable characters that are under your control. So you can switch freely between them at any time. If you like one guy's ability set, you can focus on him. If you come to an encounter that you don't feel like is a good for your melee guy, you can switch to your ranged guy, and you've spec'd his abilities out the way you like. So that, to me, that's the main difference. You're playing a party and not just one player, and that's something we want to maintain forever in the franchise of 5. It's a group, it's a brotherhood. It's not just one guy out to save the world.
Great word.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, continue.
And some other key differences, Mike, what would you call out for some key
I'd
differences?
say that we really wanted to focus on telling the story, where
Yeah.
I think their initial setup is more of the game loop and replayability. We're going to get to that, and that's important to us as well. But initially, it was about telling this story and putting the mechanisms in place to do so. But I think we do follow a lot of the tropes of the genre so that it's familiar, and it should be the same kind of fun. We are more melee focused. We are not a world of magic. That certainly offered up some challenges, but I think also lends itself to a little bit different experience than just blasting everything with fireballs. It's a lot more in-your-face demand of the combat. So that's something that I enjoy that as we designed it out.
Right, but the story you call out, that's a really a key component.
It is.
That, there's each level has a lot of dialogue, and we've done full voiceover for all the characters in the game, and the comic cutscenes really those are all voiced over as well. So for me, the story is, while I won't say more intricate, it's certainly more an integral part of the gameplay than a Diablo. Yeah.
So you mean that, for example, in Diablo, you've got these cutscenes, you've got these 4 or 5 acts, and then you are watching very well videos, which everybody must just look with wide eyes. But,
which are amazing. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you say that the story is implemented throughout the whole game, not just in sequences, just after 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Every level has numerous, I couldn't give you an exact number, but many lines of dialogue between the main characters and peripheral characters. Between every level are comic style cutscenes that have lots of dialogue in them and tell a story. I would say that the story we're telling here of King David and all of these conquests and peripheral characters that most of us have never even heard of, if you've just heard of David and Goliath. It's a complex story with a lot of characters and interesting dialogue and
Just twists
and turns, right? Good and evil, all sides of humanity. These types of concepts that, for me, are really interesting to explore in a game, and they influence a lot of our decisions. Like using comics between the levels was something we decided to do when the story we were telling was very dialogue heavy and less action-packed, that would have taken forever to script out a scenario, for example, when it's really just some people talking. It comes across better in the form of the comic cutscenes that are all voiced over, etc.
I see. I think that Middle East is is interesting even right now.
Yeah.
always.
Definitely.
It's always been an interesting place in our world.
Yeah, and the story here really goes to the heart of a lot of
That's right.
where we are today, and where we don't like to get really political or talk too deeply about those types of things, and really we're just trying to tell the story as it's recorded in history.
So it's based on historical facts, but then it's just fantasy.
No, we basically would only add something if we couldn't find an answer and we found a gap of we needed to get from this battle to this battle, and maybe we'd fill something in. But we did a lot of homework and a lot of research on getting it as accurate as we could with what information is available to us. That was a big part of it for us, and double and triple checking our facts. From the environments that you visit and the locations to even the architecture and such. So yeah, we've done as much as we can, but at the same time, it is a video game, and you are traveling to places, and we want it to catch your eye and be a story that's told through the landscapes as well. And so if greenery in one area is maybe not as pronounced, we would maybe punch that up a little bit because it would look better for the video game. But for the most part, I think we followed the rules of nature and as much of a history as we could.
But we have done a few interesting things, like the miracle stones, for example, or artifacts that you'll pick up, and they'll have like a miraculous effect.
Correct.
So there is some small element of fantasy, if you want to put it that way. But when it comes to the locations and events and stuff, we tried to research it well and keep it to historical reality, like Mike said.
Okay. I forgot, maybe this is the last question, then you can move on. I was watching the videos you made, and I saw that there are, I think, abilities which you get per level, and the last one is level 28 maybe. Is it enough? I mean, you've got just four skill slots. Then left mouse button, right mouse button, and you are using these 4 abilities.
Oh no!
Can you make combos? Can you make it something like in Diablo where you can mix it? You can build some skill trees, or I don't know, like just make it more complicated.
Absolutely, you actually do have an abilities panel that you can access, and you'll see that there's, I believe, 12 to 16 abilities per character. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on that. And mixing and matching those, as well as using them and switching between heroes to create various combos as well, is absolutely something that in our own playing discovered, and I'm sure there's even other useful ways of doing that players will find on their own. But there's quite a few abilities in the game overall to mix and match with.
So you can make builds per each character, and then you can mix each character, so you've got builds and builds.
Yeah. Basically, yes.
Okay. I hope it's gonna work.
I think you'll be surprised.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey, thanks again for your support, calling in, and it's going to be fantastic getting to know you better, and would love to hear additional comments that you have as you play through the game.
Yes.
Okay, maybe if you can, I can make a small promo.
Yeah.
We are streaming right now. You can find it in YouTube. I can send the link here. And we will make even a written review and maybe interview if you agree on our site, kinggamer.com.
Yes.
Awesome.
Would love it.
And then you can, I will contact you later. I like to make a giveaway to all our fans.
Excellent.
We're totally on board with that and love the idea and want to support you and appreciate your time and energy and support of the game.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy your day and holiday.
And you enjoy your wine and your Thanksgiving.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
So at this point, we're running a little bit behind schedule, not too badly,
let's get
but
another
we're going to
group of
hand
folks
it
in
over to
here.
the art team.
Art team!
Yeah.
Aren't you the artist?
It's about to get real up in here.
Bye bye.
Brandon, Scott, and Manuel.
Art team is gathering as we speak.
You can call in at 1:30, so.
And we
have someone to chat with at first, yes.
Awesome.
And I know that Amber Rain is ready to go.
Right, Amber.
And rumor has it there will be some construction paper and some arts and crafts.
We are going to do some art. Do we have crayons?
So.
I'm going to
We have
leave.
scissors. Okay.
Chris, I'm going to leave you on camera.
I'll take over.
Yeah, why don't you take over?
Hello!
Team assembled.
My name is Chris. I'm your humble community manager for 5 Guardians of David. Josh, are you there? I have you down for 1:30. If you are there, say something in the chat and we'll get you on with the art team. Awesome. I will bring you on in just a minute once we wrangle all these art folks. Oh, I'm sorry.
Art team.
I'll just rough it.
Please gather around the table. Get something to drink.
This table?
That one. Yeah, we're all gonna pile in and make sure you grab one.
You hiding? You hiding off camera?
No.
Jay's hiding with her hood of defense. You got the Assassin's Creed thing going.
Live from New York,
I got Tommy.
we are the 5.
You are the art team.
I guess I okay.
Can I like roll over like my chair for my desk?
I like
Yeah,
right
if you
here.
want to.
Comfortable.
I don't have an issue with that. Just don't knock the wires over and break everything.
There's enough chairs.
So how are you guys feeling today? Good?
I'm a little stressed out.
How are they feeling? Not important. But how are you feeling?
Feeling a little stressed out.
Why?
I hope people
Good
like
lunch.
the game. I want people to like it. I'm worried.
The regular edition of the game is the game,
Drop Tommy.
the complete game. The deluxe edition comes with the soundtrack and an art book that was put together by Amy,
Hi. Art book, yeah. What? Art book.
head of the art book. Amy put together the art book. Is over 70 pages. It's got concepts through completed art, final stuff in the game. Yeah, don't drop Tommy. I think he's okay.
There we go.
Oh.
Have we explained?
Has
I don't know if they did, but I'd like it if they didn't. We'll just leave it.
We'll
as-
just-
This,
Oh,
this
yeah.
Lexi looks like he's here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the explanation is under more info under the 5 raffle stuff. And it's also in the FAQ, or it should be. If it's not in the FAQ, let me know and I will update that. But we get a lot of compliments on the soundtrack, so if it's not soundtrack.
I really, yeah.
Especially this one one song right here. Probably my favorite.
Can your chair play?
Yeah, Tommy's taking one of the only
I
chairs.
forget which one. I have
Is
only
the-
gotten to the part where you meet, who is
Just
it?
trying to keep him
Who
up.
is Josh Sabin's wife?
Alright,
Nariah.
Steven.
Right. So I just gotten to that part.
Oh yeah, with
And
the White Knight
So
Joshua
I
Bean.
haven't,
you wanna
very beginning, but
Introduce your project.
there was
We'll
some
bring in
early
one,
song.
We have one
I
caller
think maybe the
scheduled.
second level was just
Well, I
like,
think
oh,
we
it's really
introduce the art team first.
Go
and
for it.
Give everyone an opportunity to share. David, grab a chair.
Don't sit on Tommy.
Manuel. Who are we missing? Scott?
Scott is downstairs. He's coming up.
Okay.
Should be good.
Excellent. You want to pass Tommy up here forward?
Shama.
Shama. Science.
Oh boy, there's a camera.
Let's see if we can put him in front there. How's that?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Tommy! All right, community. How's everyone doing today? Thanks for joining us for the launch of 5 Guardians of David. I'm Stephen Donnelly, aka Caravaggio's Wolf. I'm the art director for Kingdom Games, and it gives me great pleasure to be here with my art team. Tommy is actually in New York by now, or is he on his way to New York?
He's on his way.
He's on his way back to New York to visit family for Thanksgiving, so shout out to Tommy. Wanted to make sure that she could join us for this. And I think we'll just go around the table and everyone introduce themselves and talk about what you do.
Oh, I guess I'm next. Hi, I'm Jay. I'm one of the environment artists here on 5 Guardians of David. I did mostly level art, and this is actually my first shipped title, so this is exciting and kind of stressful day for me.
Guess it's me. Do I need to get up on the microphone or?
Yeah,
You
get
should
up
be
on the
fine to
table.
talk from there, but yeah, get closer if you can.
Hello,
You
everybody.
don't need to get that close. Just project.
Oh, okay.
It picks up pretty strong.
Hello, community. I'm Brandon Bruce. I did the character art in the game, and this is my first shipped title with Kingdom Games. I've shipped other titles in the past, like a lot of the other guys. And hello.
Hi, I'm Travis. I do level art and special effects.
Hello, I'm Manuel Gomez. I did concept art. Been with the team from the very beginning. So glad to see it ship.
Hey, I'm David Farmer. This is my first ship title, and I'm an animator.
I'm Scott Loving. I'm the lead animator. It's not my first ship title. I'm old.
I'm Clay Hoffman, lead environment artist.
All right.
There you go.
Who's left?
And I'm Amy Greiner, graphic designer / artist intern / grunt artist, doing all the stuff.
Future YouTuber / Twitch superstar.
Yeah. Number 3. Third one, yeah. Yeah.
Those are our
two
choices.
levels.
Those are your options, yes.
All right, well, we're gonna go with off because
We're hot and cold street. We don't do medium, that kind of
nothing in between.
No.
So I want to take this opportunity to express to you all my deep appreciation and just I'm thrilled that we got this game done and out the door at the level that we delivered it at. From the vision that's been going strong for 2 years now, to the characters, to the animations, to the environment, to the marketing. We've got a really solid game, and I feel really good about it. I want each of us to talk about pick something that we like the best or gets us really excited, or one of the challenges that you face through the course of the project. I know when I first joined the team, the original visual direction for the game was very stylized. It was something along the lines of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. And for those first few weeks, we were going in that direction because we're targeting a larger audience. We wanted something that had a wider appeal, and we wanted to target something visually along the lines of Pixar type work. And once we looked at that, looked at the resources we had and the time that we had to make a lot of actually tough calls. And for me, the hardest call to make was that we had to move away from a stylized looking game and go with something much more realistic. And for those of you not familiar with game development, realism is a little quicker to obtain and a lot easier to imitate something where you can just look at a picture and know what it looks like, versus crafting a cohesive, stylized look. So that, for me, that was a really challenging and hard decision to make, but it was the right one to get the game done in the time that we
had. Okay, so I'm an environment artist, and in the past, and at my past jobs, that has usually meant making assets and 3D modeling and working in Photoshop. This is the first job that I really had to do a lot of level art. The difference there is that it's mostly filling out scenes, making the levels look pretty and fun to look at. It was a big challenge for me because I had never really had to do that before, and but I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot, and it was cool getting to work with a lot of guys who really know what they're doing. And I'm really happy with the way our levels look. I think we were, even though we had to switch from, because when I got here, it was definitely true that we were just kind of getting into redoing the style and polishing everything and making everything look cohesive and coordinated. And I think we succeeded, and it looks really pretty. I'm really happy with the visual style of the game.
No.
Speak.
I guess the biggest challenge was definitely there was a lot of iteration on the game. I probably went through 4 or 5 different styles on the characters, but I enjoyed myself. I really love the Amalekites. They're my favorite characters in the game. I had a lot of fun with the Israelites and some of the other cool characters that you'll be able to see while playing.
I think we could equate the Amalekites to the road warriors of Canaan.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. They live in Mordor. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
I hadn't worked on a game with this camera angle in a long time, so it was kind of a nice, refreshing challenge to get some elevation and some of those pastoral vista scenes in the levels and stuff. But I enjoyed it. I haven't had a chance to work in BC, Middle East. It was a really fun environment to try and make levels for, and I enjoyed doing the research, and it's changed a lot in the past 2,000 years, so I enjoyed it. It was pretty fun.
Let's see. Well, I enjoyed being able to combine my passion for art and my passion for my faith. And I need to speak louder,
Yes.
apparently.
Yes.
So,
Trying to be nonchalant, but yes,
reiterate-
louder, please. Thank you.
No, I really enjoyed working on the project as far as, just being able to combine, creating art, basing it on stuff that, stories that I've heard since I was a kid, and, just something I can share with my family, and got to make some good friends. And I hate you, Scott.
Yeah, well, this being my first job in the game industry, that's kind of been the biggest challenge for me, is learning things that I probably should have known, or things that I didn't know. But that's where this great this team has been great, very helpful. So yeah.
It's been nice having you. It's been a good addition.
Thank you.
Easily one of my favorite things about this is the fact that since my son's been born, this is the first game that I've worked on that I can actually let him play. So that's kind of... So also I think, for animation, one of the biggest challenges was that they're all humans, so the silhouettes are pretty similar. So doing the different enemy archetypes, trying to, towards the end of the project, we tried to make them look different, like so their silhouette, the way they run, the way they move, to kind of make you feel like you're fighting. You can really see that you're fighting different sorts of classes and different types of enemies, and it was really fun. And this guy came on at the end and helped out a lot. Great. David Farmer.
For president.
Look him up.
2016.
Yeah, I gotta say, for me, it was, it's been really interesting working on a title that's, more historic, it's a historical based game. That's really cool and, different, and I haven't done anything like that career wise. So, and then, the challenge, also is hitting that stylistic, sweet point. It's well, where do we want to be? And, considering history and, this was built at this time and wasn't really built at this time, and trying to negotiate that and, figure out what looks best. That was a really interesting challenge. That was an interesting challenge and fun to take on. So overall it's a cool project to, a cool world to build in. I can definitely say that. It's interesting.
Full on that. No. Okay.
Make some sound effects.
Boo, boo, boo.
Yeah.
That is all.
And that's my intro. No. This was also my first game industry job. Really, my first real job. I'm still in college and just I'm still learning the ropes. I'm still trying to understand how the game industry works and how everybody else kind of does their thing, and then I'm just coming in here okay, well, I can do some art stuff, so if you need anything done that requires my skill sets, let me see what I can do, and just trying to do my best to come up with the best solutions to the problems handed to me, and just really enjoying doing that. It's fun.
Amy, you have a really interesting story on how you joined the studio. Did you share with our
I-
community that
I did
story?
share it the last time I was on Twitch, but yeah. So, summer vacation was starting last year, and I lived in California. And my brother lives here in Austin, and my dad was just like, well, you're not doing anything this summer. You should try to get a job or something. And you can go visit your brother, because I hear that in Austin's really big with game industry stuff. So maybe you can, like, get an internship. And I'm like, okay. And this is, like, a month before school is ending, and I have finals and stuff. And Dad's just like, you're going to Texas for vacation. I'm like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing. And get off the plane a couple days before my birthday. Brother picks me up that night. He's like, okay, we're going to pick up some cool sodas and pistachios, and tomorrow we're going to go drive around Game Industries, and you're just gonna come inside the buildings and say hi and give them stuff and ask for a job. I'm like, okay, yeah, no pressure. That's totally easy, sure. And so the first place that I wanted to go to, actually, we couldn't find, and Kingdom Games was on the list of places we wanted to go, but didn't have an address listed. So we were looking for this other place, and we're looking around, it's not there, and I think someone downstairs, like, went to the bathroom, and I see, like, the sign that says Kingdom Media on the door, and I'm like, wait, wasn't that on the list of places that we wanted to go to? And we, like, look it up, it's like, yeah, we couldn't find the address for this one. I'm like, oh, well, I guess we found it. Okay. So I go in, and hands are shaking and everything, and it's just a giant room of people at desks, and I'm just center of attention. I'm like, hello, I brought snacks. Here's soda. There's my LinkedIn on the carton, and just talked with people, and for a couple 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. Came back home and already got an email just like, oh, it was like really brave of you to come in like that. And it was just like, yeah, this sounds good.
It was a snack.
So if you ever want a job, bring snacks, beer and pizza, and you can get hired.
Cool tip.
So I got a couple questions in the chat for you guys.
I was doing it wrong.
You want the easy one or the more complex one?
Easy one first.
Start with easy.
Everyone's favorite 5 of 5.
Oh, that's easy for me.
Everyone's favorite.
Oh yeah, easy.
Member of the 5. My favorite is friggin' Joshua Beam. Not just because he's probably the goofiest, weirdest character, but also because he has the funnest attacks to do. If you can string along, my favorite thing to do with them is later in the game you can string along a bunch of like jumping and pushing and flipping attacks, so you can like flip over people and then stab them in the back, and it's a lot of fun to do.
I second that. Joshua Beam is my favorite.
Yeah, I
also.
mean Joshua Beam these days.
Ariella.
Ariella.
She's
Yeah.
one of the 5.
That's true.
Well, she's there in spirit. Ariella lives. Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually hard, man, because I like all of them. Like I started out with Joshua Beam. Like now I'm like Shama, and
Shama's a little bit like our Batman.
I know.
Yeah.
Like Shama's just like
He has all the cool gadgets.
It's kind of like that, right? Like you rotate through which one you like the most. Like, you know, I mean, it's funny. I've gone through a Abishai phase where you know, it's just fun to like,
Faces.
you know,
yeah, like
it's a machine gun.
Joshua Beam has the cool kick, but Shama is like the one you want to cook it with.
Yeah.
You know. Shama.
Shermer.
Yeah, Shama.
Personality-wise, I like Benaya's personality.
He's got the best voice.
He has the best voice.
And Shama is really pious. So whenever he starts talking, it just kind of like, wow. So, but that's, I think that's something we didn't touch on earlier, is that one of the key components to the success of playing the game is that you need to switch between these different characters. You can definitely have a favorite and you can beef them up, but to be successful, you want to play all 5 at certain times. Travis, who's your favorite?
If I can't pick Ariella,
You can't
she's
pick
not
Ariella.
That's good.
technically-
She's
Alright,
awesome.
Pick Ariella.
Manuel?
Scott.
Scott?
I second that.
I enjoyed working on Benaiah. I thought his costume was pretty fun to put together and design and all that. So there's some other iterations we didn't get to yet, but I'd like to see in the future.
You'll need both.
David?
I'm gonna go with Abishai. It's got that machine gun ability that's just fun to mow people down with.
We don't call it the machine gun ability.
Everyone will
Machine
call it the
gun
machine
bow.
gun ability. Everyone will call it
That's
that.
what it was called.
Rapid
before.
fire.
It had a-
Amy's doing the sound effect for you.
Yeah. That was a spear. She's got a spear and shooting people with it.
Scott?
Josh Beam. Easy.
Yeah.
It's between Josh Beam and Abishai. Like I find myself leveling them up the most. Like that's what I always come back to. So.
Amy?
I've only been able to play the game for a few hours because I was busy on other stuff. But
Making
so,
the game?
yeah. So I mean, I found myself playing Benaiah the most because I just like kicking people
Well, that was
in the
on
face.
Twitch. On Twitch, you were playing Shama.
Right.
I mean
Well,
Joshua Beam.
When I actually like did my own playthrough.
Okay, gotcha.
He's got the really cool kick.
I just remember.
Yeah, just like kicking people, and then like the 200%
Was it
damage one.
Joshua Beam was who you were doing the little spin kick and just.
Oh yeah, the spinning kick.
That was
yeah.
because that was all you did. It was hilarious.
So you said we have hard questions.
Yeah, we have hard questions.
Oh, dear.
So, what sort of reference materials do you use to develop art when it's a 3,000-year-old title? Not a lot of stuff, right? I mean, what do you get?
No, I will start that off with saying, so obviously there is a big story about David in the Bible, and there is only one archaeological piece that exists that references David, and it's a piece of tablet from a king of Moab some 2,500 years ago, talking about how he had defeated an Israelite king who was of the house of David. So what's in the Bible and where we find reference is there's not much there, realistically. I mean, even now.
For visual stuff.
Yeah, for
Right.
visual,
We're finding that, like, in the last 5 or 10 years, they're finding that actually the Philistines were very advanced and developed. And, Philistines are always referred to in a negative sense in the Bible, but the archaeology speaks completely opposite of that, which is very interesting. Manuel, you led the charge since the beginning. What did you do for research?
The style did change. Obviously, we went with a lot more hardcore realistic, looking at cultures that existed at the time that we actually have some indication of what they looked like, dressed like, archaeological finds and whatnot. So we based it on that, and we kept adding flavor over time. Just little things to punch things up here and there, and that kept evolving. I would, of course, Bible reference, concordance, all that kind of stuff, cross-referencing all that. I think we would get some artistic reference from classical art, like I think you were sharing with us for a while. Was it like Tissot? Was one of the painters that we. Their lineages, their cultures came from. But, yeah.
It's your analogy of just adding spices till we get the flavor right is spot on. One of the things we had to do with the environments overall is that Israel and Palestine, Jordan, Syria, the majority of it is desert and highlands. There's not much variation. And so to keep the visual aesthetic from getting too monotonous, we really had to spice it up a bit. And then we took a lot of what we were doing with the story and just kind of influenced. So as you head towards the end of the game, the environments start to get darker and more forbidding, and a sense of closure, I would say. And that's done very intentionally, and it certainly veers away from reality quite a bit, but at the end of the day, we want to weigh on the side of entertainment. If the game is fun and makes you think, and you can play it with family and friends, that's what we're trying to do.
So we have a caller. If you want to take a caller,
Let's take
you
a
feel
caller.
confident. All right, Josh, we are calling you. It'll be on a little bit of a delay. You know where you are. And if you have seen my face, I'm Chris, your humble community servant. And just a little plug: every Thursday at 4:30, I'm here with somebody. Last week we had Amy. So if you think she's funny,
Yes.
No, he's gonna be here Thursday.
Oh, Amy.
You're doing a Thanksgiving Twitch?
no.
Yes.
I'm not doing it this Thursday.
Dude, I am checking it out.
Hello. Is this Josh?
Yes.
This is Josh. YouTube is the Gaming 12. He is on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. He has about 10,000 subs. I was watching some of his Gang Beast gameplay, which is really cool.
Awesome.
And he has been a big fan of 5. He's
Awesome.
been
Welcome. Nice to meet you, Josh.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Do you have
Sorry.
anything to? We brought you on. You're here with the art team. You're here with the art director and all of our favorite people from art. So, if you have any questions, throw them at us.
I did, but I forgot most of them.
Perfect.
I like that.
Yes, that's good.
Ask us an engineering question.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, let me see. I can't really think of anything right now.
Brilliant.
That's
We
good.
pushed Josh back an extra hour and a half. Had a little more time to plan. And,
We blew it.
We blew
Sorry,
it.
Josh,
Sorry,
but
man.
anyway, It is a day of celebration.
But have you had a chance to play 5 yet?
Yes, actually, I did. I was playing a little bit while the directors were talking. I was playing a little bit. I'm still on level 1 because I didn't play very long. But I gotta say, from what I've played, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great to hear. So I guess you're still playing as Benaiah and Abishai. Have a preference yet?
Melee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like.
Benaiah.
I tend to do that in any game. It seems like brutes. You know, just the close combat is what I enjoy.
Cool. All right. Anything else you want to say, Josh? Have any other questions?
That's all right.
All right, man. It is good to hear you.
We should ask him questions.
Yeah, we can ask you
Yes.
questions.
So, Josh, how did you get into YouTube?
Well, it started. First started by finding the game creation, and that was because I saw a few friends playing it, and I was wondering what the heck is creation? So I looked it up, and I looked very neat on YouTube before I decided to buy it. I was watching a bunch of people play, and I found one particular game. It was Venture. Have you ever heard of that?
What is it?
Venture?
Oh, yeah.
Venture Game?
Venture. I'm not familiar
Brendan
with it.
Brendan knows it.
You're cutting up a bit, Josh. I think your internet might be acting up a bit.
It's about Geary Smile.
Yeah, it is very, very, at least right now.
Yeah, Josh, we'll keep up with you in the chat, and we'll try again in a bit and see if we can get your internet problems under control. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right,
Nice
thank you for
talking to you,
talking.
Josh.
We're glad you had a good
Bye,
time
Josh.
playing.
Cool, I'll talk to you after a while then.
Sounds good, man. All right, guys, we are still here with the art team. Questions from the chat. What are your favorite things to work on? Part 2, what is most difficult to work on? Brilliant.
So, my favorite things to work on are helping or assisting, collaborating with a group of people to create a vision and bringing that vision together and just kind of drilling down on what it should be. And then the other part of that is polishing it, making it as beautiful as it can be, and just really connect with the gameplay and the engineering. A big part of polish is optimization. So finding the sweet spot so that you keep your frame rate up and the art looks great and everything's working the way it's supposed to requires a lot of knowledge of engineering and design and how all these systems work so that you can troubleshoot them just to make it better. And it can be really challenging. So I like the beginning and I like the end. Jay.
I love any chance I get to take a 2D concept or design and pull it into 3D. If whether that's with a prop or a character, I love taking a really nice design and being able to pull it into ZBrush and just make it look really cool in 3D. You could suddenly spin it around and it's shiny and blah blah blah. I really love doing that.
Blah blah blah.
And blah blah blah. I'm an amazing public speaker. I don't know what you're talking about.
Cannons to the left of them. I love working on anything concepted by Manuel Gomez.
Yeah, Manuel's.
Scoots away. I'm like, it's actually been a joy working on all these characters that have been concepted by him, and I'd like to work on anything else that Manuel does in the future. Thanks. And that's the truth, Ruth.
Thanks, dude. I enjoy working on just plants and mountains and hills, and just exteriors are the funnest and most enjoyable for me. That's what I like doing.
The hills are alive. It's sound of
Sound of Travis.
And grunting and roundhouse.
And grunting and roundhouse.
The hills are alive.
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
What was the question? Sorry.
What's your favorite thing to work on?
What was my favorite thing to work on? Anything that this guy and this guy get to work on. So, no, I've enjoyed seeing, my stuff only goes so far, and then it has to be brought to life, and it needs a good team to do that. All right, take that back. It doesn't need a good team to. How do I say this without sounding stupid? It was an awesome team that got to take my concepts and make it something just even more awesome than I could even imagine. So I enjoyed working with these guys. All right. Scene.
Oh, okay. I'm an animator, so obviously I love to work on the animations. One thing I really loved doing was there was a bridge that fell in the game, and I really loved working on that. Thought it turned out really well. Something that was a challenge was working on the tambourine dance, but I'm not sure if it made it in the game or not. I think it did, but it was a challenge to do because, yeah, it was.
Did you get video of Scott dancing with a tambourine?
We tried.
It happens so often, you don't need video.
We call him Mr. Tambourine Man.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, so I don't know what my favorite aspect of animation is now. But now I think going forward, probably just if I can work on an animation and say, will Amy make sound effects to this? Then I think if I've done that, I've done a good job.
I think for me, like, it was, like the few times I got to paint, something that was awesome. That was a ton of fun. Like, I actually got to sneak one of the characters. Like, I got to do Hadadazer as one of the bad guys. I got to paint his portrait. That's just a ton of fun. but also building like the stuff that all the bad guys pour out of, like those little sneaky parts, and you feel like you're crafting story around the environment. That's a lot of fun.
You built, you modeled, painted, and animated a monster closet. So this man does it all.
And visual effects.
And visual effects.
Yeah. And you.
But if there were any visual effects in the game that you liked, Travis did them, and Travis did an awesome job. Like, he did a really, really good job on visual effects.
Yeah, he did good. You all did good.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing, I guess, I really liked working on the art book, actually. Graphic design, when it's just like throwing stuff together, it was almost like scrapbooking. I was just like, oh, this is fun. This is cool. I'm just going to put some stuff there. I like working in Photoshop mostly. And yeah, like when I did some of the textures for the armor, that was really fun, even though I was only on that for a little while, and then some people probably came in and like made it just way better than I could have. But it was just fun to like paint on that. But definitely the most challenging part was making the icons, because that was just full on just concept, what it's gonna look like, and there were so many icons, and like with is it Eleazar has a shield? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he has a lot of moves that are all just shield moves, and I'm like, okay, well this one is like him doing a shield in this way, and this one's using the shield in this way, and they all include a shield, and I have to make them look different because I know that having it look different helps you remember what they are better. So trying to take all the little knowledge that I have still from school and like iconography and trying to just do my best on that was just like oh, I hope this is good enough.
Real quick, just to add to that too, I think I don't know, like one of my favorite things, just to bloviate a little bit further, I think as an environment artist, I think probably the coolest thing in games that you can do is you're building this giant play, and I want to see if anybody else agrees with it. You're building a giant playpen, and then there are those moments where you're pointing the player just beyond the playpen. Like there's, you've got all these scripted sequences and stuff, or like, some environment space that's just beyond out of your reach, and if you can get the player to reach that, like we had Dan Van here, like, set up scripted to these characters off in the distance and everything. When you can interact with that and you're kind of blurring that line as an environment artist, that's like I think that's one of the coolest things you could do. You're creating a space and then you're pointing out of it, like.
You're building a world. You're saying that this space exists even if I'm not here.
Yeah.
It's
this persistent big world, and that's like magic. That is the best part of like game. I think as a game environment artist. I don't know.
So speaking of creating things and creating worlds, what is all this? What's all that?
Oh yeah.
What is all that? Well, how are we doing on time and questions, Chris?
Questions right now. We got one that just came in. This is an interesting one. Does anyone have a favorite quote from the Old Testament?
Samuel. Quote from the Old Testament.
An intense one.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's Samuel, because a lot of our actions taking place and gotten to know it, and put some newer technology characters and stuff to it. Before I only knew it as the little cutouts on the felt at Sunday school and the stories, but I haven't delved into it. I think most of our story takes place in Samuel, so
yeah, a little bit in Chronicles too.
Yeah, there's a lot. And it's, as James never said before, like you take 2 or 3 sentences from one page of Samuel and you turn that into an entire event. The entire Goliath encounter is 12 lines, I think, 13 lines.
There's more information about what Goliath is wearing.
Yeah. That helped a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, favorite Old Testament quote. I'm going to say I have some, but I cannot think of them at the moment. Yeah, there's certainly some New Testament ones. Manuel, do you have one?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. I mean, chapter 1, verse 1, Genesis.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
To me, it's the scrolling text at the beginning of Star Wars, but for the Bible.
Oh yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
I think I would ditto on
I've
that
actually
one.
never read the Old Testament.
But on time, you guys are well, it's 2:10.
Yeah,
so-
we're supposed to wrap up at 2, right?
But you started about half an hour late, so you got about 20 minutes, I would say, before I want to pull development in.
Okay.
So.
Hey,
how are
we
you
got
feeling?
20 minutes.
Oh, did we ever bring up Sergio?
Oh yeah, Sergio.
You've
Yeah,
not talked
let's
about
talk about
Sergio in the
Sergio.
comics.
Oh, and we haven't talked about Tommy.
Yeah,
either.
Tommy needs to be mimed by someone.
Tommy's chilling.
Tommy.
Where's
Can
your
anyone? Tommy's a New Yorker. He's an Italian New Yorker.
You
can tell.
And
Would piss off any-
Yeah.
can anyone do an accent? Like
Coffee.
Tom?
No, I can
You
only-
can. You're from Albany or some
Oh,
place like that.
oh, you put me on the spot now, so okay.
Yeah.
Now I can't do it. No, I can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
So you don't want to
Son-
get any coffee?
I can.
I hear it coming through.
Coffee talk.
Ka.
That's Boston.
That's Boston.
Yeah.
It's more like ka. Ka.
You guys are
Or
sounding like
the
Tommy.
Hey, here's one. Brandon, tell me if you get this reference. Is your favorite biblical quote Austin 3:16?
Yes.
Yeah, you get that one.
Austin 3:16.
Austin 3:16. Are you gonna fill everyone in, or are you just gonna?
Oh, I thought we
just
were
like,
doing like
yeah.
Steve Austin quotes.
It is a Steve Austin quote. That's exactly what it is.
John Cena.
John Cena.
So Tommy is our principal artist, and like the majority of the team, he does it all. He is a production artist, sculpts, models, does visual effects, did a lot of the UI work. You do any character work? I know he does a huge amount of material work. What else has Tommy done?
He does effects.
UI.
He does UI.
UI.
Like he did he did a few
Oh my
iterations of
gosh,
the
the UI work that he
Yeah.
did, and some of the iterations were just
I think he
amazing.
fixed up
Yeah.
some of the wolves and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah.
animals.
I'm Tommy, and I'm a badass.
He did a lot of
I'm
the.
Tammy.
Tommy.
Warning.
We miss you, Tommy.
I'm Tommy, and I approve this message.
Shama.
So let's talk a little bit about
That's another reason I
Sergio.
like Shaman.
For those of you who are familiar with it, there is a large hardbound comic book called The Action Bible. And I don't know the details of it, but some years ago, Sergio actually translated a lot of the Bible into comics so that they were much more approachable for kids. And it's a resounding success, and we are very fortunate to have Sergio doing the comic art for all of our cutscenes. I think we have, what, near 70 plus panels of him?
Panel pages.
Pages.
70 pages.
70 pages with hundreds upon hundreds of panels.
Yeah.
Manuel, you want to speak to Sergio?
Oh man, that was a blast seeing some of the designs that I'd worked on, and then he did it, and I was just like, done. I'm done. Like, I got to work with this guy. I mean, even though I never met him, that was a huge plus. That was awesome.
It is.
I really got a
Sergio
big
was a
kick.
Were you familiar with the comic
Yeah, I
book
bought it.
before you-
Yeah, and then I found out we're hooking up with him. I was like, no. And we're like, yeah, here's our. I started seeing his sketches come in, and I just like that amped me up so bad, man. I was just like, I couldn't wait to see his stuff. So.
So yeah, we should give Sergio a round. So
Yeah.
Sergio, if you're watching this, this is from the team to you. Thank you.
Yes.
Tommy likes the Action Bible. And it's got the Criterion Christian Book Award. I don't have my reading glass. Like Criterion.
Yeah, there's a new edition. that just
Definitely a
came out.
bestseller. It's always
Yeah, this
bestseller.
thing is awesome. And if you've ever like, man, I think the Bible has a lot of fantastic stories, but it's
Hard to read.
I don't want to read it. This is the place to start because this will introduce it to you in a way with honestly a lot of pictures. And I don't know about you guys, but one of the ways I got started reading was picture books, and then comics as a kid just kept me hooked. And then I finally became a paperback junkie. But it was that transition from comics to graphic novels that really spurred my interest in wanting to read books.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No, he's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
Like,
He is.
Good stuff.
yeah.
I'm still curious what that stuff
Oh
is.
my gosh!
You,
all
didn't,
right.
you gotta tell me what it is.
Well, I think we should make the design team do this because
Yeah,
we're the art team,
that's right.
and we have been like making
I
art
mean, that's
I'm like, I'm
non-stop.
disappointed it's not
Amy was
Amy.
making art this morning.
I like making art. I like arts and crafts. I'm definitely.
All right. So what we're gonna do here is actually make some Thanksgiving turkeys. Do you like this?
That's brilliant.
All right.
I actually came up with that. I guess you didn't know that. I was doing it to mock you. I guess it didn't. I guess no one got the joke, and now you're actually doing it.
Well,
If there's
that's-
anyone who wants to mock himself, it's
That's because humility, I find, is a good way to live.
Amber is still looking forward to Steven drawing the cover of her book.
Amber, yes, I'm totally down with that. Yes. So, in case you don't know, Amber is a huge supporter of the Cloud of Avatar and a phenomenal writer. And just, I think, a couple of years ago, just took a chance and kind of did a blind submission for like a poetry contest. And she won both categories. And we had no idea who it was. It was just a blind challenge based on who wrote what. And then her blog, like Avatar Radio, and then what she posts on her Facebook, she is a phenomenal writer, New York Times best-selling writer, out of nowhere. So keep it up, write the book, and yes, I would love to do the cover. That would be awesome.
And Monks Terry says hi to Steven.
Hey, Monks Terry! All right, so what we're going to do here, for those interested,
All of you.
craft, we're going to make a turkey. Okay, Tommy, I got to move you.
Sorry, Tommy.
What, Tommy?
Tommy, go hang with Joe. Joey. Tommy and Joey. So we're going to do a turkey. Tracing your hand.
Really?
And the
Yes.
whole art team just disappeared.
All right.
The art team.
Dude, I am
Are
absolutely
you down with this?
making
Like-
a turkey. Yes.
All right.
It's gonna be.
Of course, the two women stick around.
I'm doing pink.
There we go.
No, I need realistic. Where's the brown?
You want the brown? I'm making mine
He
awesome.
wants to go with a realistic hand turkey.
Realistic.
Realistic hand turkey.
Okay, so I haven't done this in a long time.
You're the only parent at the table.
I am the only parent.
So is this a
It's all the other
fun
parents
activity
left.
for you with your son? Doing the hand turkeys, or is this more of a
No.
fun memory from
I want to
grade
say
school?
he did a hand turkey back in, I don't know, kindergarten or first grade. Pardon? The kids.
Oh, I would be careful with that one.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Do
It is
we-
on the intranet. Oh. But that is a good point.
Alright, so that is my hand turkey. And then I've got to give it feet, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, pink is the most manly color. So, when you're comparing drawing hand turkeys to designing art for video games,
Nice
segue.
segue.
Where does the turkey rank in terms of difficulty?
Once you see this claw, you realize that actually that turkey is pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I would challenge any concept artist to do a hand turkey and take it seriously and try and do a nice piece of work. I don't think it's going to be easy. It's real.
So it's like a tattoo cover-up almost. You have a pretty strong basis, and you're trying to create something from that.
Right. So I'm giving my turkey like some backwards feet here and skinny legs.
You're either gonna get blown out of the water.
Am I?
Amy's
I'm
getting
the-
really competitive.
I'm the best at kindergarten.
Yes!
What was the hardest thing to create in the game?
These guys have a beak, right? Like a dinosaur.
The hardest thing to create in the game?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's an open
the siege towers were really tricky. I know that
Yeah.
required pretty much everyone. on that job.
And the falling rock.
The falling rock, yeah.
You have a large pillar of rock that Moabites knocked down to block your path. Breaks into pieces, and then you have to hit the pieces to break those to get through that. That was not an easy one. But the siege tower is burning. Yeah,
That was Tommy and Dan, one of our designers, were working together on that. And on top of that, we needed animation from Scott, and then effects from I think Travis helped at one point as well. And it was probably one of the most complicated set pieces in the game, I would say.
Yes. Okay, that's my hand turkey. How's your hand turkey? Because I'm like done. Do you have to cut it out?
Boom.
Wow. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you can, but I'm gonna. Yes! Oh, they said they're doing crafts!
Introduce yourself.
I'm Andrea, QA.
Andrea?
It's actually Andrea. Everyone calls me Andrea. I never correct anyone. But I want to make a hand
More
turkey.
elegant, and you are a very elegant woman.
Aww.
Andrea.
No one has ever said that. Thank you.
I actually think I made a chicken.
Evan wants to make a hand turkey too. Where did you
I
go?
made the vorpal chicken. Ah, awesome.
Siege towers are, the things that are used to scale walls. Are
you looking for
one
paper
of the
for me?
missions? Spoiler alert: they have to be
collecting.
destroyed by you. You have to come in, bash down the siege towers, and burn them down. Will there be other Bible-based games in the future?
So right now, our plan is to
this one's good.
continue to focus developing 5. So we are going to stay within the Bible and the Old Testament currently. And 5 Guardians of David is the foundation
the scissors real
of
quick?
what we're going to be doing as what franchise isn't the right word, but
Series?
saga. I think it's
There you
saga. So I know we're looking at expanding
Some tape.
communication, gameplay.
I got some tack glue right here.
All sorts of stuff.
All sorts of stuff. I should stop there. Right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's
we
not-
have a lot of plans going, and we are actually in the process of scheduling it.
Crafts?
Is that yours?
Turkeys, yes.
Are you gonna cut it out?
Do I have to?
You can't
No.
hear?
You can't hear. Why are you being so quiet?
Yeah, why are you being so quiet? You're on the mic.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you're on the mic right now.
Chelsea.
Oh my god, there's googly eyes.
Hello.
Yeah, there's googly eyes. I already opened them.
Mm-mm.
You sure?
Can I have 2 different
No,
sizes?
but I am considering making a hand turkey.
Oh yeah, there's 2 different sizes. This is gonna be crazy.
Because I can pull that chair up.
Yeah, you should join us, and I'm gonna eat your bread.
Oh, look.
Seriously, like all the girls.
Oh, come
I definitely
on.
want one.
Serious, that's like a kick-ass hand turkey.
She already
I'm
said
an
she was gonna
artist
win.
for
Wow.
a reason.
You came back.
Wow.
I get really competitive when it comes to arts
Yeah,
and
our
crafts.
art director is
Just
getting
saying.
his butt kicked.
Yeah.
It is. This is not cool.
I used to teach arts to first graders, so I got this.
Really?
Help me.
Really?
Help me.
No, it's a race.
There's my beautiful masterpiece. It's got a googly eye.
Hey,
Yeah.
well done. Looking good.
I'm gonna sign it.
Actually, yours is pretty good.
Really? That's what you're going with?
Tommy, what do you think?
That look on his face.
Oh, I think it's great.
Amy, I'm gonna leave you
Okay,
in charge of
definitely
chat.
actually do.
Oh,
Go check in, see
but-
what designs planned.
Why?
Okay, but are you
Hey,
trying
Chris,
to give me a
can you come
handicap?
back? Can you
Like
bring
you
me
don't
a
want me to
bottle of water?
win?
Why is there
I'm,
only
like,
one
really
pair of
dry. Thank you.
scissors?
There's only one.
I'm gonna tear them.
Where's Chelsea? How come there are only one pair of scissors?
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna do it this way then.
Wait, I have another.
No, it's gonna be more authentic.
sure?
I'm just gonna tear
You're the
them.
teacher. I'm not,
Why are you
I wouldn't
ripping
argue
it?
with you.
Okay, I want to play.
Did he
Guess I'll
put
sit in the.
Did he put me in charge so that like
Yeah,
I
you're
had
supposed
a,
to
done-
read the
you've done
a
chat.
it.
handicap?
Or two, I'm
A
guessing.
handicap so I can't win?
Well, it's a race.
you-
No one said it was a
I
race.
gave him $5.
Amy has turned this into a competition by herself. She's like, this is a competition now, and I'm going to win.
I am very sad that I decided to do it this way when there's a competition.
Everything's a competition.
Yes.
For me. Oh, man, oh, it's gonna be so good. Where's the scissors? You
We
guys-
don't have any scissors.
You
That's
guys
why I'm
can't
tearing things.
I don't think you guys are going to get the scissors back.
Oh my god.
Where'd the glue go?
Oh, the blue's right here.
Oh, thanks.
I'm gonna have to tear this.
What?
Steven
Hang
is
on,
being
I'm
his-
almost done. Okay, here, you can have
Being
it.
a hog, sharing is caring, Steven.
Yeah. Okay, I need googly eye, but I want a mean googly eye.
You just put a line next to it then.
Tell something about the story without spoilers.
Can I tell something about the story without spoilers? So it
Well,
is
it's
the
in the
story of
Bible,
David. It starts right around the time that David slew Goliath and goes to the point of when David and Bathsheba betray Uriah. I should say, yeah. So it's a
10
good
minutes.
chunk
You're in
of
charge.
time.
These guys have 10 minutes. 10
minutes.
Okay.
So I knew who David and
You got
Goliath
it?
was, and
Awesome.
I had heard the Mighty Men from the time I was a kid, but I wasn't really familiar with the intricacies of the story. And what can I say about the story, not to give it away? For me, it is really unexpected. I can say we treat the story of David as it's presented. And the truth is, it's not a very pretty story. It's got a lot of ins and outs and twists and betrayals and stuff. So the story is really surprising me, and I'm intrigued. So I will say that there are some emotional challenges in playing this game, and I don't want to give anything away, but I really recommend it. The thing I love about it is it makes you think.
Yes. Yep.
You're a very good interviewer. Person.
He used to.
Yeah.
Well, I asked the question that somebody asked.
Yeah, but you
so-
have like the tone. It's good. I like it.
Thanks.
I have to make a mean eye, so I need the
Googly
scissors
eyes.
for.
You're
No,
not gonna-
I'm gonna have a mean googly eye, and I got ink all over my fingers.
Have you tried it? It's delicious. Yeah, I was
Yes,
trying
I
not to get it on my
actually
hands, but I kind of got
sorry.
it on my fingers.
It was very good.
Okay, awesome. Where's the
Ooh,
glue?
Andre, this is for you.
What?
What does a normal day for QA entail?
Oh, goodness gracious.
So
Breakfast tacos.
I actually breakfast tacos to
Thank
start.
you, sis.
I actually wanted our little bit in this show to be QA randomly coming over while the artists are like, "Hey, look at this cool turkey I made," and then me tearing it apart. Because that's pretty much what I do. I'm like, oh, look at this cute thing you did. Hey, here's all the problems with it.
If you had done that to me, I think I would have cried.
Yeah, it's like,
I think
Maybe that is how it normally goes.
It really is. Like, we actually joke that our room is the place where developers' dreams go to die.
Pretty much.
And I just make everybody cry.
He's like, oh, this is a nice hand turkey, but there's some Z fighting over on the beak and some clipping on the feathers.
So if I turn it just like this, it'll completely rip in half.
That is a serious bug critical. It's a blocker right there.
Yes. So basically,
My
we
turkey a mean eye because he's an angry turkey.
I want my turkey
Why
to
is
have
he so
several
angry?
Because someone's gonna kill him
Because
and
he's
eat him
an
in the next 2
alien.
days.
You're right.
Wouldn't you be angry?
I guess so.
I would be.
I
Dunzo.
do have another question, but I don't know which of you can answer this. Do you have anything I can leak to my viewers without telling them too much?
As far as
Yeah, as far as what? Gameplay, story.
I can say that we have a 70-plus page art book with some amazing art.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's. I'm really excited about the art book.
And I came like after all of the art was pretty much like in the game, so it was cool to see everything.
Where it came from.
Yeah, it was so cool.
What can you give your viewers without giving too much away? So my experience playing the game as opposed to producing it is really unexpected. There are some emotional points that I didn't expect to be experiencing during the gameplay, and I think that's a good thing. And I think one of the coolest aspects of it, like we talk about, you always have like multiple people that you're playing, 2, 3, 5, and actually you get up to 7 at one point. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or actually, no, you don't play them, but they're
It's
also
like,
coming
no.
along with you. Yeah.
Yes.
But to successfully engage in the combat and play the game as it's really designed, you need to be switching between your characters. And there are moments like where you've got enemies at a distance and only Abishai can hit them with his bow. And when you get in a real bad furball, you definitely want Eleazar because he's got all the spinning axe attacks and knocks everyone away. and that is that's an aspect of the game I haven't experienced before. So that would be my recommendation. Is like there's the fact that you play 5 people that each have different abilities, and to be successful, you need to switch between them. You can just pick one and play your one person, but it's not as fun.
Yeah, definitely not as fun.
I want some feathers.
They are. Any plans of selling a physical copy of the art book?
So, I'm gonna steal your scissors.
Yes.
Oh, yours is looking good too. Why?
It's an alien.
All right, so now I know why all the guys bagged out from doing hand turkeys.
You can't win to.
There we go. Wait, where's the camera? There we go.
I'm getting crushed.
It has 4
You have
eyes.
googly eyes. Yours
But it
is
has
like,
a bunch of eyes. It's an alien.
Yours is from Japan.
You spider turkey.
It's a Fukuhama turkey.
Fukuhama.
Sorry if that's too early.
I was thinking, no. You drank the water.
So, plans for a physical art book. So, artists love art books.
Yeah, we do.
I have scores of them. But on the publishing side, I know art books don't make money. That's why you see art books now being very limited editions to artificially inflate the price. And it really depends on... in the short term, we have no plans to do a hard copy art book, but we have discussed it. And if we did do something like that, it would be an ultra rare limited edition. And if the response is really positive, then yeah, we would entertain that.
Yeah, because it's beautiful. The art book. It's awesome.
It is.
You know, that
Good job,
question
Amy.
Just gave me an idea.
Where did I drop that?
I don't like that wing.
A wing. What?
Oh, and like a turkey's gonna wear a necklace?
It's a
Yeah! You're just mad because her
he's
turkey
mad
is
'cause
better.
It's because it's way better.
He's changed strategies.
Bird.
I have. Bro, and his eyes are on the side, like Picasso turkey. With that.
Are we going to show off all of our turkeys?
Turkey, yes, show off
Here.
your turkeys.
That's yours. Oh, you cut yours out.
Yes, you did.
Mine has a mean eye.
All right, I'm taking my turkey and I'm getting out of here. This is fun.
It is fun.
So mine has 2 eyes.
I'm gonna
Anyone
clean up my
who
mess,
left
though.
obviously doesn't know how to have fun.
Who left?
What?
Oh, I thought you were saying because
left?
I'm leaving.
No.
All the
How come
guys
yours
that
says
were.
Poke- Oh,
I am the
look,
most fun.
not only is your turkey from like
sick.
a radioactive waste site, it's got like different versions of the measles.
Yeah.
I am never
It's
bringing you to a
exciting.
kindergarten class. You would destroy everyone.
Like every kid.
You gotta art direct over everything.
Get the
I
feather
don't
off my
like that
phone.
wing.
I don't like that wing.
You need to try harder. This sad feather needs to just join.
That's how I am during the workday. I'm like, come on!